Hello everyone, myself Khushi Ravia, and my today's topic is feminist voices in contemporary Indian poetry. Uh, Kamala Das and Meena Kandasamy. These are my personal information. Table of contents. Research question is how do Kamala Das and Meena Kandasamy articulate a feminist perspective in their poetry, and in what ways do they challenge patriarchal, caste-based, and social structures in contemporary Indian society? And hypothesis is Kamala Das and Meena Kandasamy use poetry as a medium to confront gender oppression, patriarchal norms, and societal marginalization. And their works reveal personal and collective struggles while advocating for women's agency, bodily autonomy, and social injustice, and demonstrating that feminist poetry can be both revolutionary and transformative. Introduction. A feminist poetry in India has emerged as a powerful form of resistance against patriarchy and social hierarchies. Kamala Das, writing in the late 20th century, and explored women's desires, emotional conflicts, and struggles for personal freedom, often challenging social norms around female identity and sexuality. And Meena Kandasamy, contemporary Dalit poet and activist, expands this discourse by addressing the interaction of caste, gender, and systematic oppression, and highlighting the psychological and social trauma faced by marginalized women. In comparing their works, demonstrates the diversity of feminist expression in Indian poetry, and showing how personal narratives are deeply intertwined with broader and socio-political realities. So, English poetry is a definition of Indian English poetry is a poetry written in English by Indian authors, reflecting in Indian experience and culture and identity. And bridges Indian themes with the English languages and creating a unique literary voice. Its evolution is from colonial period. Early Indian poets wrote in English, influenced by British literary traditions, and in post-independence, is a focus is shifted to expressing national identity, social issues, and cultural heritage. In contemporary era, it explores gender, caste, personal freedom, and social justice, blending personal and political themes. And its characteristic is combines personal experience with broader social commentary, and reflects India's linguistic, cultural, and societal diversity, and engages with modern issues while maintaining traditional poetic elements. Feminist voice in literature. Feminist literature highlights women's experience and challenges patriarchal norms, and is significant challenges gender inequality, and questions social hierarchies and stereotypes and oppressions. And its visibility for a woman brings women's voice and stories into a literary space and historical dominated by men. And its empowerment and resistance is provides a platform to critique your society and inspire change. And intersectional insight is explore overlaps of gender, caste, class, and culture, giving a broader understanding of oppression. And its impact is encourages readers to rethinking social norms and value women's perspectives, and influence both literatures and social consciousness, shaping modern Indian thought. Kamala Das, born in 1934 in Kerala, India, and prominent Indian English poet and autobiographer, known for bold confliction poetry and exploring female identity, sexuality, and emotions. Her feminist perspective is personal feminism is focuses on women's inner lives, desire, and struggles within patriarchy, and challenges societal norms regarding marriages, love, and female sexuality. Explore themes like loneliness, identity, and freedom through autobiographical and poetic expression. Her keywords I taken is an introduction poem and my story. An introduction is a poem published in summer in Calcutta, which published in 1965. Uh, this consider Kamala Das' signature confliction poem, blending autobiography with social critique, and is explores theme of identity, womanhood, language, and rebellion. In this poem is a feminist dimensions is in assertion of identity is declares I am what I am, a radical self affirmation to female individuality, and language and freedom is defend her right to write in English, resisting linguistic and patriarchy, and gender role is rejects conventional expectation of being a submissive wife and mother, and sexual autonomy speaks candidly about desire, passion, and female sexuality. And resistance to patriarchy is a challenges male dominated social structure that silence women. This is her famous quote from a poem and introduction. I am shiner, I am sent, I am the beloved and the betrayed. I have no joys which are not yours, no ashes which are not yours. I too call myself I. This is an autobiography by Kamala Das. My story is it published in 1976, and it's a biography originally written in Malayalam and later translated into English. And known for its frank confliction style, it shocked conservative society for its candid treatment of female sexuality and identity. A feminist demonstration is a female subjectivity. It offers woman's perspective on love, desire, and selfhood, breaking silence around female experiences. And in this work, he also work on a sexuality and desire. It's boldly address female sexual needs, autonomy, and defining social taboos. And critique of patriarchy. She exposes a gendered oppression in marriage, motherhood, and domestic spaces. And also, she searched for identity and reflect her struggle between social expectation and her quest for personal freedom. And self assertion, she acts as a declaration of independence and encouraging women to resist superstition and embrace individuality. Meena Kandasamy, born in 1984, Tamil Nadu in India, and she no poet, novelist, and activist, and she known for blending literature and social activism, especially regarding caste and gender issues. Her feminist perspective is she's a activist feminism challenges caste oppression, patriarchy, and systematic injustice, and is uses poetry and prose to amplify marginalized voice and question dominant narratives. And her key work poem Eklavya and One Eyed, and other one The Gypsy Goddess is novel taken by me. Eklavya, it's a poem in her collection by Touch, and it's published in 2013. in the context of inspired by the Mahabharat story of Eklavya, and a lower caste archer denied training by Dronacharya because of caste. Symbol of a caste oppression, exclusion from knowledge and forced sacrifice. And as we know, Eklavya gives his thumb as a Guru Dakshina. And a main theme of this poem is a caste and a knowledge. Questions why access to learning and power is denied to marginalized group. Resistance and rebellion is reclaims Eklavya's story as one of defines rather than obedience. And historical injustice is connects ancient caste-based discrimination to contemporary realities to Dalits. And voice of subaltern is Kandasamy rewrites the myth to empower the silenced and marginalized. One-eyed poem is also from his poetry collection Touch, and also published in 2013. And about this poem is One-eyed explores theme of oppression, violence, and marginalization, especially in the context of caste and gender. And Kandaswamy uses strike visceral imagery to depict the physical and psychological trauma endured by the oppressed, and highlighting both the pain and inflicted by systematic injustice and the resilience of those who survive it. The poem reflects a broader style of combining political commentary and with instance personal and collective emotions, making the reader confront the harsh realities of inequality. And the Gypsy Goddess, his famous work published in 2014. Its background of Kilvenmani Meskare, and in Tamil Nadu, where 44 Dalit villagers, mostly women and children and elder, were burned alive by landlords. And it's a counter narrative that challenge biased incomplete historical records and gives voice to oppressed. And his key themes is caste based trauma is goes beyond physical violence, exposes psychological scare and intergenerational trauma and insidious oppression. And trauma is a spectrum, moves beyond Western PTSD framework and includes the chronic humiliation, social exclusion, and casteist violence. And women as agents of resistance, Dalit women portrayed not only as victims but as a fearless protester. And feminist and political lens is highlighting Dalit women's double oppression, caste plus gender, and portrays their coverage against systematic humiliation and state violence, and challenges patriarchal and upper caste narratives by foregrounding subaltern voices. Conclusion: Kamala Das and Meena Kandasamy exemplify the power of feminist poetry to critique social norms and amplify marginalized voice, while Das explore personal, emotional, and sexual dimension of female experience, and Kandaswamy emphasizes collective struggle, caste oppression, and political resistance. Together, their works demonstrate that contemporary Indian feminist poetry not only challenges patriarchal structure but also documents historical and ongoing injustices, and asserting women's agency and resilience through literary expression. These are my references. Thank you.
Khushi, my question is to you that how does Kamala Das feminism differ from Meena Kandasamy's?
Kamala Das, so feminism is a personal and emotional and rooted in individual experience and identity. And Meena Kandasamy's feminism is activist and collective, and it's linking gender issues and caste and class struggles.
So, Khushi, my question is what message do Kamala Das and Meena Kandasamy collectively convey?
They demonstrate that not feminism is not that uniform. It evolves from personal inspection and and so and social transformation. Thank you.